Alright, today is Mean Comments number 3. No, it's not. What am I talking about? It's Mean Comments number 10. Where'd I get 3? These videos are always fun, and they are for entertainment purchases. No, they're not. They're for entertainment purposes. Oh, good lord. So if you want to be thoroughly entertained, stick around. Hi YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about luxury living on a budget, from high-end luxury handbags and small goods to the everyday luxuries of life. If that sounds interesting to you, please make sure you subscribe, click the bell notification icon to be notified when I post new videos, and be sure to like the videos that you enjoy. And one of the perks of subscribing to my channel is you get to see my community posts on your YouTube homepage, where I post deals, discount codes, sales, and rare finds related to these beautiful things we love. Just want to point out that I'm sporting my Fendace scarf today, my rainbow colored FFs with the Baroque. Love it. This is the second time I've worn it since I got it, and it's just really stunning and fabulous. I love it. Disclaimers. I always have to start these mean comment videos with disclaimers because it's not exactly what it sounds like. First of all, not all the comments are mean. Some are. Some definitely are. But some are just interesting comments or silly comments or something funny, whatever, that I want to share with you. These comments have been collected over several months. The last time I did a video, I said that, and then I filmed the video and went to edit and everything, and I found another folder that I had. Like, I had a folder on my computer, and then I had another one on my hard drive where I'd been collecting comments in different places. So I had a lot more comments than I thought I had, so some of those will be in this one. And I have so many comments right now that I'm gonna have to make another video maybe next month, Mean Comments 11. But what I do when I get mean comments or something that I don't want to post for whatever reason, and maybe I want to share it with you, I take a screenshot, I put it in a mean comments folder, and then I go back and pick and choose which ones I want to talk to you about. Last time I did this video, I did it in a way that you guys really enjoyed, which was separating it into folders, and I gave them sort of funny names. I haven't done that this time, simply because I am short on time. What I have done is gone through a few of them and just highlighted them, and I'm going to go through them in no particular order. They're probably like in time order. So here's an example. This is not a mean comment at all, but this is something that I deleted from the comment section. If you don't know, I have my channel set up so when you leave a comment, it doesn't go live right away. I have to approve it first. There are many reasons for that. The main one, as I've said before, is that I'm a teacher. Sometimes I've had comments that are so horrific, graphic violence, and just really nasty stuff. I don't want there being any chance of any of my students seeing that, because sometimes they do come and watch the channel. So that's the main reason I have it set up. This is another reason why I have it set up to be approved before comments go live, and that is particularly overnight. So I'm guessing these are coming from overseas when I'm sleeping and they're awake on the other side of the world. I get a lot of comments that are really ads for handbag replica companies, and I don't want to advertise for them. That's not what my comment section is for, so I delete those. But I thought this one was really interesting, so I'm going to read it to you. I won't tell you the name of the company, of course, but it's funny because they make a comment that makes it sound as if they've actually watched your video, but it's generic enough that it could work on lots of different videos, and then they give the name of the company, like a little at blah blah blah, the website. This one says, "No one complains when a rich dude shows off his car collection, so don't complain when a hardworking woman shows off her bag collection." I just enjoyed that comment, so wanted to share it with you, but it did not get published. Thank you very much. Next comment. This was entertaining. I'll put it in that category. This one says, "Hello, I'm gonna change the name of this person just in case." Because this is one thing I never do too in my mean comments videos. There are some people who will tell you who wrote the comment, and I just don't believe in doing that. I'm not trying to put more negativity out in the world here. I'm just trying to share with you some of the comments for entertainment and sometimes to get us thinking. So I found this one more on the entertainment side. I'm gonna say Paula is her name. "Hello, it's me, Paula, and me, Paula. I just want to say hi to you, Autumn Beckman. And how are you, Autumn Beckman, and me, Paula? I like watching this video about from 100 bags, they're all gone, Autumn Beckman. And this is a nice comment from me, Paula, to you, Autumn. I don't know what that means, but I found it entertaining. I hope you did too. Here is a video that I did called From 100 Bags to 5. They're all gone. And then the thumbnail says they're all gone, only 5 bags left. What this was a tag video. This is going to be an educational comment right here. This was a tag video about if all your bags were suddenly gone and you had to pick 5 bags to last you for a year, what would those 5 bags be? So when you think of it in that context, that title makes sense. This person who commented said this title is clickbait. I really thought you got rid of all your bags, but 5, like the title said. A lot of people, I get these comments from time to time when I come up with creative titles. I get accused sometimes, as many YouTubers do, of creating a title or thumbnail that's clickbait. And this is because a lot of people don't know the difference between a clickable title and a clickbait title. Clickbait is when it tells you it's about something and you click on it and it's about something totally different. Clearly that is not what this is. The title is accurate for the content of the video, so it's not clickbait, it's just clickable. It gets your attention, it gets you thinking. And one of the not so secret things about being a YouTuber is that you want to create clickable titles. You want people to come in and listen to your content. This next person, this is on a video about 8 popular Louis Vuitton items that are not worth it. This person says, insane how people pay upwards of $300 for a small little clay pouch and the gold is so cheap it rubs off. Well, I would have to agree with that to some extent. When I purchased my clay pouches, they were about $205, not $300 yet, where they are now. And it is kind of insane that we pay that much, not only for such a small piece, but also for the quality issues that Louis Vuitton and other houses have had. But we keep doing it, I guess, right? And this is one of the reasons that I tend to buy older pieces that didn't have those problems so much. It's why I buy a lot of pre-loved. It's one of the many reasons that I buy a lot of pre-loved. I also get better prices. Sometimes, and the clay is an example of this, the prices are better when you buy brand new. That's one of the reasons that people do that with that item, and it's one of the cheapest things you can buy at Louis Vuitton, especially if you're just starting out with the brand. That's a great piece to start with. It's very versatile. But I do get where this person's coming from. This person mentions a few YouTubers by name. I'm not going to mention their names because, again, I'm not trying to spread any negativity to any particular people. This person says, like so-and-so, a couple of YouTubers on here make me cringe, and she lists some people, and she says, I've never seen such flaunting in my life. I want to address this from a little bit of a different perspective. Here she's saying that these YouTubers are flaunting things. Now, some of these YouTubers are people I know and they're friends of mine. Others of them I've never heard of and have not watched their channel, so I can't speak to them. But as far as the people that I do know, I know them well enough to know that they're not flaunting. From my perspective, when I have found myself feeling that way, it usually is more about me and me feeling like seeing somebody else have a lot more and that it seems to come so much more easily to them makes me feel bad. I experienced this a lot as a kid growing up poor and seeing other people who had a lot more than we did. There's this one street in Houston called Kirby Drive, and there are all these mansions lining this street, and I used to not be able to drive down that street without crying, like when I was a teenager, because I felt, I'll get into some heavy stuff if I start going into this, but it just made me feel insignificant. It made me feel like these people had so many things and like, what are they doing to help and make the world a better place? It's a judgmental kind of thing to think and to say, because of course you don't know those people. You don't know what goes on behind their closed doors, beyond their YouTube channels in this case. You don't know unless you know them personally. So it's more an assumption on our parts when we say things like that, usually. Do you get what I mean? This comment is along the same lines. This talks about another YouTuber, a very big, successful YouTuber who's kind of in the luxury space. She used to be more into it. She's switched her content up some. But this says, thank you for your perspective. She needs to be knocked down. She looks like a cracked out bobblehead Barbie. Did you see her Christmas video? And she lists some things that she got that are very expensive. Hardworking women don't even make enough to buy food and will never see the luxury. So out of touch. This goes into some things I've talked about in in recent videos about working and what you get in return for working. You know, I've heard this comment before. I've heard it probably more in the last few years than I've ever heard it in my life, which is poor people are lazy. We've heard this thing, especially in America. You work hard and that's what gets you to success. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. All that jargon that's thrown at us our whole lives. The thing is, I grew up around poor people, and they're some of the hardest working people that I've ever known. There are a lot of wealthy people that work hard too and have worked hard to move themselves from poverty or middle class up into wealth. If you watch my video, I'll link it below, about it's like people just don't want to work anymore. It talks about why that is, whether that's true, but if it is, why that is, and how we just don't get in return what we used to get as workers decades ago. So that addresses the last part of her comment where she's saying hardworking women work hard and will never see the luxury. That plays into that. But she's also commenting about this one YouTuber, and it sort of sounds like everything is coming easy to her. And I can tell you, because I've watched her channel on and off for the last several years before she was as successful as she is. She is one of the most successful YouTubers, at least that I know of, in the kind of space that we're in here. And she didn't start out that way. I don't know what her background is as far as her family, but I remember years ago when she had her channel, she was shooting out of her bedroom, and it looked like a really normal bedroom, like a lot of these luxury YouTube videos are. And she has worked really hard to come as far as where she is today. So it's not like the stuff she got at Christmas is just thrown at her. She has earned that stuff. So I'm just a little defensive, I guess. And it's similar to that previous comment saying, you know, people flaunt things. She's worked really hard and she's earned the things that she has got, the really expensive, nice, fancy things, and her beautiful home and all the other stuff. And so is her husband. So to me, it's not flaunting. And she, to me, comes across as a pretty humble person as well. So I don't know, I think it's all about just your perspective and how you read other people. I don't see her that way, so just offering a different perspective there myself. This person comments, I wasted 6 minutes watching junk souvenirs. Autumn, seriously, this haul was a waste of money. You don't need these items, it's all junk. This was on a video where I unboxed an Hermes Twilly, a Louis Vuitton bottle of perfume, and a Chanel card holder. Now I did return the card holder because the color just wasn't speaking to me. If it had been a different color, I would have kept it. I have one just like it in a different color that I've used for years. Love it. Definitely not a waste of money for me. The perfume I use every day, definitely not a waste of money for me. And the Twilly, which one did I buy then? Because I purchased a couple lately. I don't remember. I may not have worn that one yet, but I will. It will get used, and it's not a waste of money for me. I really enjoy beautiful silk scarves. I guess it's all about perspective again, right? For me, none of it was a waste of money. None of it was junk. To this person, they have a different perspective, but for some reason they're trying to force their perspective on me and make me feel bad about my own purchases, which I am happy with. So since I know I'm happy with them, I'm not at all upset by their comment, other than that they think it's okay to say those kinds of things to other people. It's really quite rude. This person says, why do you talk with such a superficial and fake accent? Well, I don't know, governor. I've never noticed my accent before. Get this one. Another person trying to make me feel bad about something I purchased. Dang girl, your other bags seem more thoughtfully curated. This one means you have a bag addiction and maybe it's time to move on. Jewelry? This is on my Chanel sequin bag. The Moonlight on the Water bag. Gorgeous bag. What is wrong with this person that they think there's something wrong with that bag? It's just rude. This person talking about the Chanel reissue that I have, the bronze one. It's the 227 size, and it has the double flap. It says, please don't use the second compartment for your telephone. It's not a pocket. The second flap is attached to the bag, and if you use that space as a pocket, you can ruin your bag. I'm gonna guess that that information came from a YouTube video that I have seen a while back. This person's talking about when you open the first flap on the bag and the second one is still down, there's, I'm gonna call it a pocket, between those two flaps. Look, I don't know the original intention of that space, but it is not going to hurt that bag at all to put your cell phone back there. It's not like I'm stuffing it to capacity and putting stress on the stitches. It's a phone, and there's plenty of room around the phone. It's fine. That pocket is being treated as if there's nothing in it. It just baffles me how somebody can say something in a video and then lots of people believe it and don't use common sense. This person says this is about the Fendigraphy bag. It's a little little croissant-shaped bag. They say that bag is not your style anyways, it's more youthful. You're calling me old. I assume they're trying to be ageist here and insult me by saying that I'm not youthful, because a lot of people assume that women want to be young and they don't want to say their age and all that stuff, and they don't want to get older. I don't know how long this person has been watching my channel, but clearly they don't know me very well, because that says nothing at all about me. It's all about this person thinking it's okay to be ageist, because obviously there's nothing wrong with growing old. In fact, don't we all want to? Really? This person says, I think maybe instead of buying luxury bags, you should focus on fixing your face. I'll just leave that one right there. Oh, this one's fun. This is on a video that I called So Easily Offended, and it was about Gucci, Prada, Katy Perry, Moncler, and blackface controversy on some products that they had that looked like blackface. This was a few years ago. I sometimes do videos that are like social commentary and giving my perspective, and I try to relate that to luxury somehow. So that's what I did here. And usually when I do those videos, I give it a title that will draw in people who feel differently from the way I feel, get them to watch, and hopefully at least some of them will be willing to stay and listen to what I have to say, which is probably going to be the opposite of how they feel, or at least different from how they feel. And hopefully they'll get some new information and maybe start to think differently themselves. Someone clearly didn't watch the video. They just read the title and said, I reported this video. It's obviously racist, you university kid. Okay, first of all, it's not racist, it's quite the opposite of that. It's anti-racist, and they called me a university kid, which is really funny in light of the previous comment where they're calling me old, because I filmed this video when I was like 40, and they think from the thumbnail that I'm in university. So there you go. Okay, listen to this one. This is a whole paragraph. I honestly find your language offensive. I don't think you should be prescribing style, calling people ridiculous for wearing something they like. People who think and speak like this give fashion a bad name. Style can be diverse and unique. It's not universal. The hideousness you speak of is in your eyes. Let people buy what they want. Collecting expensive things doesn't make one an expert in fashion. What I find childish, I had mentioned something being childish, is the clutter behind you, like how a child piles up toys. Be respectful if you want respect. So guess what video this was on? This was on a luxury roast video. Do you guys know what a roast is? Because this person clearly does not. A roast is where you tongue-in-cheek make fun of other things, and this pile of clutter she was talking about in this video was a pile of bags that I was talking about in roasting, which apparently she didn't pick up on, I also owned. So I'm making fun of myself in the video. Some people, I tell you what, just whoosh. Okay, now we're gonna get into something a little different here. Thank you for sticking around this far, I appreciate it. I have one more issue to address, and that is, this is a bit of a doozy, I'm gonna warn you. I recently did a video where I kind of reviewed, gave my opinions on Pride collections for 2022. June is Pride Month, celebrating the LGBTQ plus community, and a lot of retailers come out with Pride collections splattered in rainbows, just rainbows vomited on everything. I reviewed that and I gave my opinions on that. Now I have always been an ally to the LGBTQ community, and I have never experienced some of the things that they experience in terms of the discrimination and the mean comments and stuff. But I got a tiny, tiny little taste of that after I posted this video. I'm just gonna share 3 of these with you. And actually, now that I got these, I'm surprised I didn't get more, but I had one person that did the vomit face emoji. That was the whole comment. I had one person that said, unfollowing you. I also did notice that I lost quite a few, I did like a handful, not all that many, but I lost maybe 10-ish or less subscribers once that video posted, and within maybe a day or 2 of that posting. And here's my response to people unfollowing because I posted a video that was supportive of the LGBTQ community. My response is, good riddance. If you are someone for whom people in that community bother you that much, you can't take it, you're that intolerant, you're that ignorant, I don't want you on my my channel, quite frankly. I'm gonna read this other comment. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. This was the only person who really gave me any kind of information about how they felt besides, you know, a vomit face or I'm leaving, I'm out of here, like little babies. This person says, I don't know why we need a month for people to celebrate that they have sex with someone outside the norms of male and female. Ready for July already. I also left out something she said that was not very nice. In addition to that part not being very nice. Here's the thing that I found enlightening about this comment is that this person thinks that pride is about celebrating who people have sex with. That's not what it's about. That's not at all what it's about. What is that commercial? That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. I mean, here's the thing. Let me try to give you some information on this if you're in a similar boat there and you would like to learn more, but maybe you just haven't been exposed to it or whatever the case is. And a little bit of a backstory too. I have always been someone, since I was little, who has never discriminated against somebody based on their race, how they look, how they dress, what their sexual orientation is, whatever it may be. Things that you can't help. Well, you can decide how you want to dress, but it just doesn't matter to me. The amount of money you have, any of those things, right? Your religion. It has never made sense to me why people would discriminate based on those things. It is such a foreign concept to me. It just baffles me. It really does. Because the way I see the world, the way I see people, is we're all people, we're all human, and there are differences. There are lots of different differences. And just because you're part of this group that's different from my group, it doesn't make you bad in any way. Unless you're actually bad, like you do bad things, right? But that's not what we're talking about. I remember when I was in middle school, I was in 8th grade, and I got called into the counselor's office. And the counselor was there, and another girl was there, a student, who was one of my classmates. And we were about to go in the next few months on an 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C. It was a very big deal. We were going to be staying in hotel rooms with 2 beds, 2 girls in each bed. And I came into this room with the counselor and the girl, sat down, and it was explained to me, revealed to me, that this girl was gay. And she was going on the trip and I was going on the trip. Would I be willing to be her roommate? One of the girls in the room. And I think the counselor said that, but then the girl chimed in and she said, I'll sleep on the floor so you don't have to sleep in the bed with me and it's not like weird for you. And I was like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I'm like, why is this even an issue? Back then it was more of an issue than it is today. This would have been the early 1990s. But I'm thinking, why is this even an issue? Of course I'll be in the room with you. Like, it's not a problem. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, and you're not sleeping on the floor because we can sleep in the same bed. It didn't even occur to me to think that there was anything wrong with that or with her. So I just don't understand why people think there is something wrong with it. It just makes no sense at all to me. This comment about it being all about who you have sex with really shows me that this person has not thought very deeply about the subject and about the fact that if you're part of the LGBTQ community, you're still a human being. Does this person also take heterosexual relationships and reduce those to just who you have sex with? Like, think about a relationship that you've been in. And I know some of you are going to give the wrong answer here. Was that relationship like a serious relationship, like, right, like a marriage or a long-term relationship or something like that, okay? Was that relationship only about who you were having sex with? No. Relationships are about a whole lot more than that. That's a very tiny piece of it, really. It can be a very important piece, but it's a small piece of the big picture. So I'll assume that she wouldn't reduce a heterosexual relationship to just that one thing. So why is she reducing a homosexual or another kind of relationship to that one thing? To me, that tells me she's not thinking deeply about people who are different from her. Maybe she's not considering that they are fully formed, well-rounded human beings, as I would guess she thinks she is. So yeah, pride is not about that. What pride is about is people like the girl that I went to middle school with, who had to hide this part of who they were, who if they revealed it, it was a big deal and it was a scary thing because people could really judge them. I mean, if I was a worse person, I could have judged her, I could have said no, and I could have gone and told everybody, right? I could have outed her and all that. But again, that didn't occur to me. But there are a lot of people who would do that. If you would like to hear a real example of this and something that's pretty gut-wrenching, I'm going to encourage you to go watch a video by one of my YouTube friends, The Closet by Connor. He recently posted a video about his experience growing up gay and how people treated him at school, even how adults treated him. Heterosexual people go through other things. Yes, we do. It doesn't matter who you are, you can be bullied by somebody. But when you have something like this that is something that's getting better, but was and still is, something that is looked down on by a lot of people in society, it makes life a lot more difficult. It can change who you are, it can change how you think about yourself. Pride is about celebrating the people who have had to deal with that. It's about making you feel like you're not alone. You're not the only one who went through that. You have people around you who know what you've experienced because they've lived it too. It's about celebrating overcoming the struggles, or at least trying to, because things like that can stick with you your whole life. So if you're someone who has reduced people in this group down to just who they have sex with, maybe rethink that. Maybe keep this in mind next time you think about it. But if you're like some of these other people who unfollowed, who gave a vomit face, or who left without saying anything, which is totally fine, and you're someone who doesn't want to think about other people, consider other people's experience, you don't want to try to understand people who are different from you, you want to believe things you've been told by other people in your life about how people who are different from you in different ways are bad, and you don't want to try to change that, learn, grow, be a better person, then frankly you probably don't belong on this channel. Now let's also point out that I am certainly not perfect. I have plenty of flaws. I have some biases, but the biases that I have against people have to do with people making choices. What we're talking about here are not choices. These are things about who people are fundamentally. No one chooses to be gay or black or Jewish or any other group that's discriminated against, but people do choose to discriminate. And if you're one of those people, you can make a different choice. That is all. That brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Hope to see you back here next time, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.